like you. I'm still paying my dues, and I'm coming up in the game. But you used to drive me crazy because you raised me, and I felt like, I said, what the hell is wrong with Bobbito? Why you don't come, just kind of come hang out? Then Cotty was telling me, then you came up and told me, your lady, you have to take a lot of health precautions, you know what I mean? So then I understood. At first, I was like, I was going to heat you up, Bob. I was going to heat you. I was like, let me go find Bobby, the Puerto Rico. I grew up with that, the first guy who put a basketball on my hand, and I didn't even know what the hell I was doing, and I'm going to learn this game. And I was unorthodox as hell. So I said to myself, and you said it too, you knew it. He ain't gonna jump off 1 or 2 steps. He's gonna jump off a vertical of everything. But one thing we got going for him, no one's gonna outwork him.
Yeah. No.
No, you said that, Bob?
Listen, I'll say that to this day. And let me tell people, in 1981, I wrote about this in my memoir, Bobbito's book, A B-Ball Bong Bong. And then you mentioned in it, Craig Batchelor, Eric McCarty, Mike Parker, Carlos Arias, all of y'all on that Central Baptist squad. That I was asked to be coach of at age 15. So it was new. It was Eric McCarty told me that I was his first coach, and you're telling me the same.
Yeah, I had no clue.
I had never really coached, but I had a love for the game. And Pastor Don, who was the director, he clearly saw that passion in me, and he saw those leadership skills. So he said, "Yo, why don't you lead the 11 and under, the biddy squad?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And from that day, Gary, listen to today, I have no doubt about your ability to succeed in anything you do, because even back then, your work ethic was worthy, bro.
Thanks, man.
All through Ray Diaz, all through the Nike 3-on-3, when you, Kirk, Rodriguez, Tone Greer, Thirsty took the NYC chip, all the Ray Diaz chips.
Oh, Bobbito, I'm glad you said that, because my friend doesn't really know how good I am. He keep telling him, man. Bob, I told him we were ballers, man.
Greer and Kurt said he was high.
They joke. They like to joke. And Bobbito, you would tell them all this joking we hear in this world, Steve-O, Jadakiss, everybody, Bobbito, how they're really good at ball and I have to pay them. None of them, Bob, will tell you they could outsnap me, because I've been into missions and stuff. But tell how we still joking on hood, Bob.
Well, so the whole thing was, we play ball and play ball hard, then this the cool down was not really the cool down. The cool down was a heat session. We'd be on 98th Street, right in front of the telephone booth, the payphones and whatnot. We wouldn't be inside the park. We'd be really like in the, what building was that? That red building,
765.
765. Yeah, we'd be like in the little stoop area of 765, and I have clear memories of that. Just snapping for like 2 hours and just praying that you're not the go-to.
You're praying. But I knew that I was ready.
You gonna catch it for like a good 2 hours. Like that's just what it was. And you just stand there and you try to come back, but no, when you got 5-6 dudes that can snap and they all going at you, oh yeah, Bob, your hairline is, and you bob your nose and bob your sneakers and bob your socks.
They used to kill me too, but we used to go at it. But Bob, I'm gonna pop my shit. Yo, we're all better ball playing me. Like I said, I work, but the one thing I ain't gonna give you, Craig, they'll bow down. Kirk says Gary is the king snap of Amsterdam, because he has said shit that don't make no sense. Yeah. Bob, I remember half the jokes, Bob. I'd be rich, Bob.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of those jokes wouldn't be funny out of context.
Yeah.
But it's when you got the audience and everybody's just laughing. So this is my favorite moment of Gary. Right?
So many of them with you.
The radio show. Me and Stretch had a radio show. For those who don't know, 89.9 FM. WKCR is affectionately known as 89 Tech 9. Right. It was a monumental program in hip hop's history. Right. We used to invite Gary and Tone Greer, to come up and snap.
Yeah, just have fun. This kind of shit.
And we would have real comedians up in there, like Artie Fuqua and I forget the other dude's name, and dudes that do well and stand up and and beyond. And Gary would just, he would smoke these dudes, man. Like
bad.
And then one time Gary told Artie that his mom's had a rotten plum on our belt buckle.
Oh yeah.
A rotten plum. Yo, it made no sense.
But at the time,
at 4:15 a.m. when we already laughing for 45 minutes, and Gary said, "Yo, your mom got a rotten plum for a belt buckle." Yo, that's
and they be mad. They be like, "Yo, what
that's still the funniest snap I think I ever heard in my life." I laughed.
Yo, in context.
The context, yeah, it's the context. Plus, Gary got a big face and he looked bugged out. So when he says stuff, it's like, wait, it's if anybody else says it, won't be as funny, But yeah, it's his intonation, and he got the saliva on the corner of his lip.
I think you're trying to throw little cheap sheets out, man. I think you said too many, Bob. Fuck you trying to say.
There's a legendary video.
Oh, hold on, Ron. Bob. I know one thing. You have children, you have a kid, you have a son, you have a wife, but still there's something you don't have. It's called toothpaste. Your shit is still yellow crazy. What the fuck is
I'm working on it, Gary. I'm working on it.
But hold up, because it's gonna turn into some bullshit, and we ain't gonna get this no work done. Wait till a little later, man. Let's try to get some work done, then we gonna have some crazy fun. But seriously,
okay. I'm with it. But but listen, I do want to mention, like, your face doesn't look as big as it used to. Like,
yeah, I lost weight, but I lost weight. You got it, Rob. You got it.
You lost weight?
I lost like 45 pounds. Rob, look, I lost crazy.
Yeah, he looks amazing.
But it's not just. I mean, even when you were 11 or 12 years old, you still had a big head. Like, but what? Did you do an operation or something?
Yo, Bob, all right, man. Listen, man. I want to tell y'all. People, y'all ain't gonna listen to this shit. Bob's an asshole like me. Well, I had a male stroke January 18th, and Bob, I'm being serious. No. I want just a good point. He was the guy. We were all younger, but we was getting old, and we was becoming men. So Bob became our Uncle OG Puerto Rican, but we all drank and smoked and got fucked up for years. Bob never touched nothing. And Bob told me why. Bob, am I right? Bob told me his father was alcoholic. And Bob said, I didn't want no parts of it. I'm not judging y'all. I still love y'all. Yeah. I just don't do it. Judgment. Remember, Bob? Yeah. You said your father, you said it was a real bad time with your dad. You didn't like it. I said, oh, shit. So, Bob, just to say, I got sick, Bob. I'm not saying that's the main thing, but it had things to do with, in my opinion. And I stopped. And, Bob, I'm thinking better, which I've always been smart. I work harder than you know me, Bob. So I just want to let you know that was the best move you made, not falling victim. That shit is the quiet poison. I had to say the truth. I'm not judging y'all people, but I gotta keep it real, man. You're better off without drinking. I could deal with smoking, but drinking, that shit is not, it's unheard of.
Well, one of the questions was, how do you stay so active at 59? I guess he just answered the question for us. You didn't drink, you played a lot of ball.
Yeah, what else? I mean, Ron, it's been a lifetime commitment, and people, look at me as like this, hip hop legend and, iconic in the sneaker world. But, first and foremost, and I drove this point home in my memoir, Bobbito's book of Bebo Bong Bong. I'm a ball player first and foremost. Before any of that, I'm a ball player, and I've always been a ball player. It's not like I chose hip hop in the 90s and stopped being no, I was still playing like all the time. Still running in tournaments, still traveling, DJ gigs overseas. I got my ball sometimes, or I got my, my ball kicks. I'm playing wherever I go. And so I've always, because I started coaching at age 15, and I started training kids when I left Def Jam in 1993, right? I was really faced with a dilemma. I wasn't making much money. I was freelancing back in 93. Nowadays people are like, oh, I'm a multi-hyphenate, whatever. Like, I had to figure stuff out in 93. So I used the radio show as a platform to promote myself. I'm like, yo, I could give one-on-one sessions. How like nowadays, like everybody's a trainer, they're out there with the cones. And I was doing that in 93. And my calling card was the radio show. So I used to get high school kids and college players to meet me, and they would pay me. Their parents would pay me, and I would train them. Just like I used to train Gary Gnu and Mike Parker and Carlos Arias at the GOAT back in the 81, 82. That's always been me. So anyway, my point is that I was never nice. You know, Gary Clark was like the child prodigy of the Upper West Side. We thought he was going to wind up in the pros.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
Mike Parker was like playing at Riverside when he was like 13. Like,
yeah, I
you know,
never got to play them boys.
This is why I love Gary so much, because me and
All that
Gary
hood.
kind of come from the same stance. I'm going to outwork